Peace and security, a trending theme throughout history. The Great Stone Tower was built in 7000 BCE, which was the first known permanent stone fortification and monumental architecture of this time. It is 30 feet high and 33 feet long in diameter, which is surrounded by walls that are 5 feet thick. The tower served to protect about 2,000 people who lived in Jericho from dangers of the outside. The war side of the Standard of Ur is one of two mosaics created in similar fashion that shows three layers of narrative art depicting the establishment of security for Ur's kingdom by defeating the unknown nude opponents that are seen being trampled and bound by Ur's army. Ancient Mesopotamia consisted of 20 to 30 city-states, and unruly behavior within the city-states required discipline that provided security and peace for Ur's people. The peace side of the Standard of Ur is the second mosaic, showing another three layers of narrative art about the peaceful life Ur gives his people. His people are shown performing hard agricultural work to provide food for a banquet that is seen in the top layer, with even a harp player at the far right providing music and entertainment while the people feast on their food. This was Ur's standard of peace. The Hittites were an ancient Anatolian people who established their empire on Hattusa at around 1600 BCE. The city itself was highly fortified, with tall walls and towers that were made from huge stones. The Lion Gate was built as a gated wall, and it is guarded by two lion statues by each side of the doors. The statue itself is carved out of large pieces of rocks. The Hittites chose the lion as a representation of their might, and it functions as a form of security by deterring invaders and to ward off evil. The theme of using wild beasts or superstitious monsters in protecting cities, tombs, or temples would also be a common trait on all the other parts of the world. Sargon II created several palaces along with walls and gates that enclosed his newly created capital city called Dur-Sharrukin. Sargon sought to create security for his city by instilling fear into anyone that passed through the city gates with lamasses, the half-man, half-bull, with wings standing at the sides of each gated entrance. The lamassu provided the same type of initial security that the Lion's Gate did and served as a deterrent to outsiders looking to cause trouble. The tomb of the reliefs contains prized goods belonging to several generations of an Etruscan family. There are reliefs of helmets and shields, which show that the family was elite in status. In the center of it all, Cerberus is seen below the depiction of a couch or table on a wall that was placed there to act as a deterrent for anyone wishing to enter the tomb and disturb the dead in the afterlife. The altar of Augustan peace is a monument celebrating Augusta's most valued achievement of establishing peace. One panel, located at the east facade of the altar, depicts a seated matron with two babies on her lap. She is usually called Tellus, meaning Mother Earth, or by scholars as Pax, meaning peace. The sculpture in its entirety creates a setting of peace and love. The Miracle of the Loaves and Fishes is a mosaic painting found on the top register of the nave wall of the church. Jesus is represented beardless along with his nimbus, halo, which signifies his divinity. Jesus is dressed in a gold and purple colored imperial dress. He can be seen extending his arms outward, instructing his disciples to distribute the bread and fishes which he conjured miraculously. This piece of art exudes a sense of security given the biblical story behind the painting. The Anastasis at the Church of Christ in Korah depicts the image of Christ standing over a defeated Satan while raising Adam and Eve from their tombs. The image shows that Christ's divine power has the ability to defeat any secured stronghold that Satan owns, and that figures that were tempted by Satan, Adam and Eve, can be saved and taken to a place that's truly secure. This wooden portal is located at the Stav Church of Erns, Norway. The portal has two depictions of security. One, the representation of Christ in the lion biting and defeating the snake that represents Satan. 2. The shape of the door that is similar to a keyhole, symbolizing that only people with a key are granted access through the door. The idea is that the temptation of Satan is no longer present once someone walks through the portal. This type of sculpture, with the child version of Christ seated in the Virgin's lap in a frontal pose, is known as the Throne of Wisdom. Christ, as the Son of God, is the incarnation of wisdom. Mary, who carried Christ in her womb and who holds him on her lap, serves as his seat or throne. Christ would have grasped a Bible in his left hand, a further representation of the divine wisdom that he himself embodies. However, it is his right hand extending outwards that blesses and provides spiritual peace and security for onlookers. In conclusion, we can see that peace and security is a universally and historically important aspect of life that stretches from the beginning of society to the present day. Peace and security can apply to a person's own beliefs about the afterlife, faith, or even civilization as a whole. Images, sculptures, and architecture has proven to be an effective method in acting as guardian and safekeeper of people and their beliefs, while also promoting and offering a peaceful life.